it comes a lot of grind. Comes a lot of putting in the time in order to make that catalog. But if you are able to make that catalog and you have that moment, or you just going piece by piece, it'll pay off in the end. And that's definitely something I'm working on for myself. Period. Yes, sir. What's happening, y'all? You already know what time it is. Organic Wednesday, episode 13. All my people that's superstitious out there, you already know what time it is. It's real spooky. Nah, it's real great. Everything good, everything organic. You know what time it is. But yeah, good to see you guys. As usual, hope the weekend was fire. Hope the week before was dope. And you know, if it's been going slow this week, time to step it up. This is it right here, halfway point. Game time, coach. So, with that being said, we're gonna talk about me a little bit, but let me just get y'all the gist. Everything is good so far. I can't really complain too much. Shouts out to my man Lee. So high, we was moonwalking through the Museum of Modern Art. Shit was crazy, but had a good time, man. Shouts out to my guy. He's about to go to Jamaica to get married soon, so big ups to him, man. Had a good time with him and the lady. But other than that, music wise, a lot of things being scheduled for release. Still got some beats to check out. I ain't forget about people. Just be on the move, man. A lot of good stuff happening. A lot of good things. But with that being said, this week, what we're going to be talking about is a little bit more on the artist side. But of course, it can apply to a bunch of other areas. But as far as on music, it's definitely applying there. What we're going to talk about this week is the preference of having a dope catalog compared to having one viral moment. And I'm pretty sure everybody's going to have their view of it or their side of it. But this is mine, This is mine right here. So me, at first, the biggest thing was just having a hit record, right? So you have a hit record, and that hit record you could eat off of for a long period of time. Because at that point in time, it's not going anywhere. It's timeless. It's a classic. There's plenty of artists like that have that record, and they're doing good today. They were able to take advantage of many opportunities off of that record. But there also are situations where the artist had the record, right? But they didn't have the catalog, or they didn't have anything for the listeners to funnel. And so they can't really do too much. Even though they have that record, there's not really much that they were able to offer in order to retain fans. So what I like to think is that the catalog is something that allows people to stay with you and to actually see what you're about. Because when you go viral, that's for a moment. That moment isn't really like that moment might not, what's the word? That moment might not capture who you are as an artist or who you are even as a person, right? Because you went viral, right? You got all these eyes on you, but they might be on you and they're already having this judgment, and there's nothing that could sway their judgment. So now you got to kind of follow up with things in order to sway that, instead of already having something for people to take a look at. And they take a look at it, and their whole perspective changes, and they get a whole new appreciation for who you are and what you do. And a really good example that comes to mind, especially recently, RIP, was Draco the Ruler, right? Did he have a hit song? No. I mean, as far as like global masses, East Coast, things like that, like did it reach more than California? Probably did internationally, but as far as like on the East Coast and maybe even down south, I can't really say it had the same impact. And it's not that it was bad music, it just didn't really have that same impact. But you look at the catalog that he had, which he was a monster as far as just producing content, period, that gave people who came across his music for the viral moments he had, which would be like the track he did with Saweetie and, anything else, the track he did with Drake, they gave people an option to, look at his content and become a fan. That's me personally how I became a fan. I can't say I really discovered him early on when he was messing with DJ Mustard or even before that, but my biggest thing was I seen him have a Drake feature and I was like, who's this? And I listened to it and it was an interesting cadence, interesting style. He's a unique voice, period. And I was like, he's different. So then I decided to listen to more songs, and that's how I became a fan myself. And RIP, but that was the situation where it's like I was able to go on the content and look at it and not only give him streams, but also become a fan and mention him to whoever. So that showed me the importance of a catalog, and just it'll give you that staying power, because that's really really what we want, is that staying power. So having that is a beautiful thing, and it also leads to a lot of great things. But with that comes a lot of work, comes a lot of late nights, comes a lot of, let the motorcycle go by, comes a lot of grind, comes a lot of putting in the time in order to make that catalog. But if you are able to make that catalog and you have that moment, or you just going piece by piece, it'll pay off in the end. And that's definitely something I'm working on for myself, period. So that's really what I wanted to hit on today. It's important to just put the work in and just make sure you have something for people to appreciate whenever they discover you, no matter what the craft is. But with that being said, that's this Organic Wednesday, episode 13. As always, love you guys. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe if you mess with the content. More coming soon. All right.